folks. Had a wonderful day today, and just wanted to share with you our wonderful projects. Here's some of the pine cones we started roasting. Stuff going on, and I thought I'd give you a look-see. So we found these pine cones outside, and we're trying to get the seeds from them. So what we've done is these things need heat in order to dry out. As you can see, here's one that's completely dried out and opened up, and out of all of these little spots right here is where seeds came out. You can see this one actually had 2 seeds in there. And yeah, we got a ton of seeds out of this pine cone, and some of them are green and they have quite a bit of green on them, and so they still have quite a bit of drying out left to do. But some are brown and pretty dry already. And so you can see this one is starting to crack here, and it's really warm. I bet, maybe not this one, but this one's starting to crack right here. I could hear it. You can see they're just all starting to open it up. Listen to this. Every little crack is basically one of these little pieces coming apart. Oh, did you see that? That's so cool. Okay, so this is seriously, me and the kids have been so just excited about this process, because see, now this one, the first ones we got were already starting to open up here on the bottom. So they started opening from the bottom, but this one, it's like the whole thing is starting to open up like all at the same time. Well, once this bottom piece comes off, then you can start pulling down, because these bottom ones are all like connected and don't have seeds in them. Oh, it just came off. How exciting. Oh, I'm so glad I'm getting this on video. Yeah, so the bottom is just like these little pieces, don't have seeds, and they're all like kind of connected like that. See, there's a whole clump connected. And so now that one is, I better do this over box. Okay. So I've been putting them in this pan, is where I have the ones that are like already opening up. See, these are the ones that are closed. And then the ones that are starting to open up, I just have them in this big pot. So that way, as they open, and the seeds fall out, they all end up in there. So yeah, see, another chunk comes open, a big chunk. And no seeds yet, but we gotta get this bottom off before we even get, oh, I started to see a seed. Okay. All right. So there they are. Oh, it popped right out, 2 of them. There's one, and there's the other. Yeah, so this one's amazing. I'm probably going to get like, oh, if I wanted to, could probably completely open and get all the seeds out of this one, because it's like all dry. Yeah, beautiful pine cones. Huge seeds, oh my gosh. There's a little one. Little teeny guy. Oh my gosh. Oops. it up a little bit so I could do it on the table. This is so cool. So this is my kind of Christmas. I'm gonna raise this a little bit so you can see better. Wow, this one just came apart amazing. Yeah, we discovered that we have a bunch of pine trees in our yard. And we got a bunch of sap. Harvested off of one. I feel bad for it because it's just completely covered in sap, which means that it's being eaten and damaged. And in fact, when I was chopping into it, I found a bunch of freaking roly-poly bugs that were eating it. So that's the culprit, is why it's having this sap problem, is the roly-poly bugs. But we are gonna just plant more trees and harvest all of this sap and use it. Because isn't that amazing that even though the tree's being damaged and hurt, that it's supplying for you and me healing benefits. The sap that comes from it, this balm that I'm going to be making, it's good for like stings, bug bites, scratches, chapped and dry hands. It even said it was good for hemorrhoids. And you can also use it as a chest rub. I'm going to add a little bit of eucalyptus to it, so it's like, eucalyptus is amazing. Very soothing thing when you're sick. So all of this just comes from the pine tree. And I also discovered a really cool flag that has the pine tree on it, and it's called An Appeal to Heaven, or Appeal to Heaven, The Appeal to Heaven, something like that. And it was our forefathers, like the original revolutionary flag. Like literally all the way back to 1776. So, you know, kind of interesting that that was our original cry of freedom. And the whole thing behind it is an appeal to heaven, is that they felt like there was no justice that could be had. And so the only choice left for man, when there is no justice to be had, is to make an appeal to heaven. And that's sort of where I feel like our society is at right now in terms of justice. You know, I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell's found guilty, and where's the justice? We know there's people involved. Where's the justice? You know, I don't know if some of you probably aren't even familiar, but there was a school district that parents were quite upset, and with good reason, because they sent home an assignment about sexual preferences. This was given to junior high school kids, and relating them to pizza toppings. And it was a whole assignment asking these kids to put their sexual preferences on a paper but use them as toppings. Make them pizza toppings. You know, and they want to say, oh, you Pizzagate, you know, that's not real. Okay. Go look at Machine Gun Kelly's most recent video. I think he just put it out 2 days ago. Covered in Masonic black and white checkers all over the place. Red all over the place. Stands for the Babylon, the Scarlet Woman in the Bible. Pizza. He's covering his genitalia with pizza. I mean, it's just like, okay, yeah. You want to live in a false reality where nothing bad is happening, then that's fine. However, I have children and I'm going to protect them. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, check this out. So this is that pine cone. I can't believe all those seeds came out just like bam. That's the only one I've opened like that, but you got to look at all the seeds I got. Wow. And that's not even all of them. That's just like, this is about all of them. Wow. Pretty cool, huh? All right, guys. I encourage you to harvest some pine cones, get some tree seeds, and grow some trees. It's awesome. Both a little bit of pine resin. Here, I'm going to pull this chunk out here.
Oh, I knew that.
Okay, so here is a big chunk of the pine resin. Now, a lot of bark is on it because it was just stuck to the bark. So that's a big piece of bark right there. But you can see the white. And it's kind of melting. Oh, my camera's fogging up here. So here's a big chunk that I had gotten off. And it's just starting to melt. So I came up with an idea. Because the people that I've seen melting this pine resin down, it felt like a very unsafe process. They were using little butane or alcohol burner stoves. And they were just melting the pine resin over these little butane stoves. Well, it's highly flammable, so you really have to like babysit it and all this stuff. Well, what I did is I put on this burner over here, and in this pot, I put probably about 40 ounces of extra virgin olive oil. And I heated that up to about 375 or 275. And I have this in a double boiler. You can see underneath is that little trivet. I think that actually came out of my green oil machine or possibly my Instant Pot. But anyways, I made use of it here so that the tin can would not be sitting on direct heat. And I have it on low. So it's just at a low simmer. And the oil, and then I poured the hot oil over the top of it. So that way this is never heating up like very hot at all. So what I'm going to do once this is all melted is I'm going to strain this out because there's tons of natural pine needles and other organic materials in here, and that I'm going to want to strain out. So I'm going to strain them, and then I'm probably going to measure them, figure out how much pine resin I had, knowing I had about 40 ounces. And then once I figure out how much pine resin I have and is in there in the ratios, then I'm going to go and add some beeswax to harden it up, because it'll probably be pretty liquidy. But so now I need to go find a second can to dump this into. All right, folks, I'll update you with some pictures. Why does this freaking... Oh my gosh. This is so annoying. Okay, so I have everything pretty much melted down. Take a look inside. This is my olive oil and pine sap. There's just a few little chunks that aren't quite melted down. So I'm going to let it keep cooking for just a little bit longer. I pulled the big pieces of bark out. Some of them, see that one on the top has a lot of sap still on it, which is fine. I'm going to use this stuff for fire starter. And I got this other can, which I measured out the weight of it ahead of time. So that way I know how much, when I go to measure what I have, I'm going to know how much pine sap is in there by subtracting the amount of olive oil and the tin from my final weight. So I got this little strainer here that I'm going to be pouring from here to here. So I probably will not record that, as I'm going to probably need 2 hands for it, but I will take some I'll take some pictures. Okay, so I dumped this into there. It went pretty smooth, and I'm just going to let it just drain out. And you can see I got quite a bit of... Oops, sorry. Dumped this into there. It went pretty smooth, and I'm just going to let it... Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so annoying. I don't know why. Ben. So any of those, they are going to try and crack them on into here.
Which here? I found some seeds in here. I found some.
Okay, we'll try this one again here, folks. Dumped this into there. It went pretty smooth, and I'm just going to let it just drain out. And you can see I got quite a bit of awesome olive oil mixed with pine sap. So I'm just going to let that drain out for just a few minutes. I packaged up all of this was the leftover bark and organic material that was inside of the of the pine sap, and then I added this eucalyptus. This Essential Depot has really, really quality essential oils. So I added about 8 milliliters of
And my name.
oh, Amelia, happy birthday. Oh yeah, Amelia's birthday
Yesterday
cake.
was my birthday.
Yep, how old did you turn, sweetheart?
7.
Oh, how wonderful.
And I like being 7
Yeah.
instead of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
And
start.
next time I'm gonna smack my face into it.
Oh yeah, she wants to smash her face in the cake, so.
Like when I done when I was 4. When I was
So now what I'm gonna do, I don't even think this is too hot, but it's pretty warm. So it's probably 150. It was 185 when I pulled it off, when all of the wax had melted. So I'm gonna take this over here. And I was letting it, hopefully letting it settle a little bit, because I want the little part, they didn't quite filter out all the particulates, so that's where I'm at, trying to filter that stuff out into here, and I'll figure that out in a second. Be right folks, so
It actually feels really good on my hands. I wish you guys could feel some. Make your own. Make your own from pine.
okay, so here was our solution to the particulate problem. We tried using a coffee filter and that did not work. So next we tried this filter with a cheesecloth over it. Now we are pouring this at about 150 degrees, and it
hot.
is pretty hot, and it's catching a lot of stuff. This is actually our second filter because it's got a lot of material in it. But yeah, and then we got Amelia here that is putting the lids on.
Which I got my own labels, and yesterday was my birthday.
Yep, she got some Legos that said "Made with Love" from Amelia.
And look.
No, I'm not doing that again, honey.
Well, I do have cake, and I'm gonna smash my face in it.
All right, so yeah, we got all of these
Pretty
made.
silly.
All of these are made and ready to go. Here, let's.
And one I get to keep for my purse.
Oh yeah, we're definitely all gonna keep one, huh? What did you think of them, Molly?
Very good.
Oh, you look tired, huh?
I don't want cake.
Well, we'll clean up this mess and then we'll have some cake. And thanks for joining in.
Have a great day.
All right, so that is about it as far as the our process. I rubbed it on my skin and it has such a great quality. The smell is very like woodsy. I mean, it definitely smells of pine. And then the eucalyptus that I added, just, it's really, really awesome. It's going to be a great chest rub. Gideon, you need to go to bed, please. Okay, Quentin. So anyways, it's a great balm. We're really, really excited to share this with all of our friends and families. And yeah, we're just very excited. So we hope that you can find things from your backyard that you can find useful and can benefit your life, because that's how God is. He just provides everything so much for us. So we're very thankful and grateful to Him. All glory to Him. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night.